Welcome to Shoeman's Model Shop. What we'll be working on today is, this will be part 4 of my video, and what we're going to work on today is we're going to finish up book 2. We started book 2 and 3 and we're going to finish it now. But first I just wanted to go over something that I purchased. There are some aftermarket items for this, and one of the things I purchased was the lifeboat hatches, because what they have on what you get is it's just kind of a little red line at the bottom, and on the show they were kind of all numbered. I don't know if we can, how well we can see that, but on here they're all individually numbered. And what these are is they make two different kinds. They make a rub-on decal, so what you can rub on, or they have these vinyl stickers. The rub-ons are really expensive, and I really didn't want to add more money to this, but I kind of like the idea of having the lifeboats look better because you can actually see them. Like on the models I've built, the smaller ones, you really can't see them. This one, they kind of show up. So I thought this would be just kind of a nice little add-on, but again, I didn't want to spend, I want to say the rub-ons were like maybe $200 for the rub-ons. I think these are not that expensive. I'm not sure what I paid for them, but I will put the link below where I got them, and I think that'll just, you know, make it pop a little bit more. So we're going to get started with book 2 where we left off. So let me get that set up. I'll show you the parts and then we'll get to building. So what we're going to be working on here is stage 5 in the assembly, and we're just going to add basically some parts to a part we had previously built in stage 1. So here are the parts. This is the part we built in stage 1, and you can remember that I did a modification here by adding the bridge part. And so what we're going to be adding is we're just going to be adding parts to this to fill it out. And we are going to be using BM screws, and also we're going to be putting in one of the shuttle bays. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the shuttle bay. Move that out of the way. And we are going to be using some BM screws. And just a reminder that part of this purchase was a big screw holder, a big screw holder kit to put the screws in. And they always give you lots of extra screws, but I just kind of like using what comes with the package, and then we will, you know, go ahead and put them in there afterwards. So we've got the BM screws, and we're going to take, and this is plastic. That just fits in there. We'll take our 2 BM screws. That's the bigger screwdriver. Like it doesn't want to tap in there quite right. There we go. tight fit. Those are tight in there, but it's still pretty loose. So try to stay in camera. What I'm going to put on is this front part. This is metal, and it's going to go on here like so, and it's going. We're going to put this plate on, and it uses EM screws, so we're going to move these BM screws out of the way here. Put my little bag, just remember what they are. We've got EM screws. This has a kind of a groove, so it kind of fits right in that groove. And we'll I'm going to go ahead and give them a good tightening. Okay, that's tight, and that will. And you can see here when I was talking about the lifeboats, they just have this little, just a little red kind of dot there when it should kind of have like what the lifeboat number names are. So I'll probably throw out some of those decals on here to show you how those look when I'm done with this. So that's that part. The next we're going to add is, I guess you would call these wings. Okay, and they are also metal. And they will use BM screws. And that's going to go, move these lights out of the way. That one is for that side. And again, there's a little groove here for the guide. Again, we're going to get a BM screw. tightening up here. It's a little bit loose there, but I think it'll tighten up when you add more to it. And we have the other side. We'll give those a good tightening up. And yeah, there's a little bit of a gap there, but I think once you set this in the top there with the upper saucer section, they will get lined up just fine. So then, let's see. Okay, so that finishes that part, which is stage 5. So I went ahead and I added the stickers to these lifeboats, and let's see if I can. There we go. So you can see how they've added some numbers and a little bit more detail, and like I said, they're just easy to just go ahead and just stick them right on there, and they easy to come off, easy to put on. I think they're going to just add a little bit more realism, if you want to say, to this ship. So we're going to go ahead and get on to stage 6. So for stage 6, what we're going to start building the upper half of the the saucer, and we've got these are metal. We're going to use some braces, and then we're going to use some more BM screws. So we're going to want to flip this over, get the BM screws ready. And we're going to take looks like the shorter one here, and put this towards me the way it is in the book. And this looks like it's going to go like not. So what we want to do is we want to take the bigger brace, and it's got 2 holes and it just fits there like so. So what we're going to do is we'll turn it over, and then we're going to use BM screws. So we have the first brace in. Then the next one is a small one, so we're going to go, it's going to go on the next level right here, so that fits in like that, and we're going to just flip it over and do the same thing. And again, we'll be using BM screws. Okay, and that's in. Those are nice and tight. And that is it for book 2. So we got the rest of the bridge part done. I went ahead and I've got this part, and you can kind of see, we'll start seeing how big this is going to be. This is just one section of the saucer, the upper saucer. And we put on the new lifeboats. So what we'll probably do is go ahead and take a look and see what we've got to do for book 3. So we'll be back with that in a minute. So we'll be starting book 3, and in book 3 we've got stage 7, which is the kind of the sort of the cobra head. And looks like we've got some parts we've already seen. Then stage 8 is going to be continuing on with more of the saucer section. Part 9, more saucer section. Looks like some more windows. Then it looks like we're going to add some more on 7 to the cobra head and do some more building of the hull that we're going to. Yeah, so this looks like a lot of cobra head work and also more structure, saucer section structure work. And yes, and then we're going to be adding more windows and some lights. So, and that will be for book 3. Let's get the first parts ready to go, which will be the stage 7, part 7. Now let's get those parts and I'll show you what they look like. So in stage 7, the parts we have are the neck. This is plastic. So remember, the other ones are metal, so it's kind of going to go between plastic and metal, plastic and metal. And what's interesting is we have these windows here, but you can see that some of them they don't have carved out, so that's kind of interesting. And then we have the shuttle bay doors, and here we have where the auxiliary engines go, and we've got a spring. I'm not sure what that goes to yet. Got some AP screws and some BM screws. We've got a phaser bank and a part that goes on top, and it, like I said, it's labeled left and right so you know what side to put it on. And then we saw these in the last part in stage 6. They're just more braces for the upper saucer section. So let's get to building. And again, this is a phaser bank, and that just fits right in there like that. Yep, and then we use the springs. It says it's got 2 springs. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if these are going to be some kind of switch. Because otherwise I wouldn't know why you would have springs. Oh, good, they're all tangled together. Okay, so we're back. These springs were mesh. They were all tangled up, so it took me a while to get them untangled. And then what we do is we're just going to place them on these pegs. Then we're going to be using AP screws. So let's get the AP screws ready. And then the part here, this little part here, will fit they're supposed to fit on that pin. Yep, got to get them in that pin. Here's one. There's 2. Then we're going to use the AP screws. Fell out. There we go. Okay, we got that one popped in there. Okay, and that's that. So I want, like I said, I don't know if that's going to be some kind of switch. So I don't know why. It's just a phaser bank, so I'm not sure why it would have springs, but it does. So that is that part. And next we're going to be adding these braces. So let me bring back that brace. This was the part we did on the last book, which was end of 2. I believe this was assembly 6. So we're going to just do what we did before. We're going to add more braces to this upper part. So the first one is going to go here. And the second one is going to go back here. And we're going to be using BM screws. So we're just going to turn it over like we did before. Get my screwdriver ready. Started, then we'll tighten them up. So we have this one on, the next we'll put this one, which goes here. And that's the same thing. We're going to use some BM screws. And we'll go ahead and get those tightened up. Okay, so we have those braces on the upper hull section. So next we're going to go into stage 8, so let me get that set up for you. So looks like stage 8 is somewhat of a repeat of stage 7. We have the phaser bank, the springs, and then we also do have a new section of the upper saucer that we will attach to that. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and do the right phaser bank. No need to be rewatching that. So I'm going to get that built, and then I will get back to you. Okay, so that's the both done. That completes this part here. So now the phaser banks are in, and that'll complete that part of it. So next we're going to get working on the upper saucer section. So all we're really doing is we're just going to add this new frame to this. Basically just pops in there. We'll screw it in. Again, I don't want to bore you with watching me put screws in, so I'll do that and I'll get back to you. So okay, I've completed this part. Like I said, we just joined another section onto the stuff we'd already done. You can kind of see, like I said, to see how big this is starting to get. And that is it for stage 8. Up on book 3 is stage 9, which is basically we're going to be adding some more to our original upper saucer section. This is the part we've been working on. We'll add to that. We've also got some more windows. Lots and lots of windows. We've got a like, remember, these are clear parts on the inside, but on the outside they've got a reflective material. We've got some lights, and we have some BM screws and some BP screws. So let me get that ready to go, and we'll get started. So we are going to be adding more to the upper saucer section, bracing, and we have this part here. It's basically what we've done before. This part's just going to fit in a little lower. Let's see. Basically it's just going to fit in here. Like that, and then we used BM screws for that. So let me get that going, and I will show you what that looks like. Okay, so now we have this section on, and just maybe to give you an idea how big this is going to be, that's my hand on that. So this is going to get very big. So that completes that part, which is stage 9, or the first part of stage 9, or step A. So next we're going to be putting windows in the Cobra head, so let me get that ready for you and I'll show you what that looks like. The next stage is going to be putting windows and lighting into the, for lack of a better, Cobra head. And again, this is plastic, because I've been saying that some parts are metal, some parts are plastic. This is plastic. I went ahead and I cut the windows off the little sprue. Again, I would recommend, and this is what the windows come on, and if you're going to build this model, I would recommend getting a pair of sprue cutters. They're relatively cheap, and it just makes it easier. You can use a hobby knife, but with a sprue cutter, it just makes it a little quicker job. Oh, and I had forgotten, we've got this part that fits over the windows. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue the windows in. What they want you to do is basically what you do is you place the windows in, then you take this and then you put this over the windows, and that holds them in place. I have been finding that even when you do that, the windows still kind of come loose a little bit. And also, I've have noticed too that a lot of times, and I've done this twice and I've seen other people do it, you get all the windows in, you bump it, and they fly out because they're not very tight in there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue the windows in. You've seen me do the windows before, so I'm not going to bore you with that step. So let me get the windows in and I'll get right back to you. So then we have the windows in. And we did basically there's a pattern that they show you in the instructions. You can follow it or not. I mean, this is supposed to be how it looked on the studio model. But if you want to change it up, I'm pretty sure you can. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to be adding on the cover. And that goes... Let's see. That's going to go like this. But first what we're going to do is they want to have us add the lights. And then basically what you do, you're going to spread that out, and it's going to go on. And what they do is they just kind of snap in place like so. And sometimes I found that it's easier to kind of get this going and then kind of slide them in and then finish tightening the screws, because they do tend to pop out. And you could also, you know, maybe add a little tiny touch of glue in there. I'd be, you know, if they keep popping out. But we'll see how that goes. So let me kind of show you something here. Now in the instructions you put this in place like so. And you can see where there's a light that goes here. So it would go like this. The thing that happens though is that we have these... Basically, these are shuttle bays. Let me see if I can. These are shuttle bays here. You can see 3 and 2. And what I've found by watching Buckman's model Mania and World of Wayne is that once these go in at a later stage. So you have, the problem is you have the light here. And then you have to bend these and twist these to eventually get these in. So I think I thought, boy, I don't want to do that, because you're starting to, you know, they want you to bend these a little bit, but when you start twisting, bending, they could pull out, they could break. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, since I did glue the windows in, and you can see the windows are in here, I might go ahead and then just skip this part until we get these pieces. Now, why they didn't send these pieces, who knows? I don't understand the rhyme and reason for how they do parts in order. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably go ahead and just move on to the next step, and let this go until we get these parts in, which I think might be, and I'll look at the books, because I got a few books ahead to see if that happens. But this is, again, another thing about this is that you can kind of build the sense. The books are stages. They're not like, sometimes if you don't put this and you can't put that in, you can kind of move around a bit. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do here, is wait until I get these parts to complete this part. So let me see what's next. So stage 10 is what's next, and you can see here that it's basically just a repeat of stage 9. We're going to add braces to this section, and 2 braces, and then we're going to put in the windows, and we're supposed to put in the cover here. You know, the cover here, that part that I'm going to skip because of the shuttle bay doors. So let me get that set up, and then we'll again, we're probably going to skip this section for now. And we'll do that when we get to bay doors, but we can go ahead and put in the braces on this section. On this next step, like I said, we're just going to do the braces, so then we have a short, long, and a skinny brace. And we bring back our saucer section. And let's see, we go. And it looks like it's going to be on this end. And again, like I've shown you before, they have a specific place they fit. So that one will fit like so. And then this one will go like so. So let me get those screwed in, and I'll show you what that looks like. Those braces are in. See that? Which of course means the next time we'll be putting another one on here. And so that is it. And that's pretty much it, because again, I'm going to skip the windows on the other side until we get the shuttle bay doors in. So if you're following along and go, hey, you missed a step, that's why I am skipping that step. So that concludes book 3. And I want to thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask below, and I'll answer your questions. Again, some of the other 2 people I know are doing this build is Buckman's Model Mania. You should follow him. He does a lot of live streams, and those are fun to watch because I'm skipping some stuff. Like I said, you don't need to watch me doing windows. You don't need to, watch me screwing in these braces. But he does live streams on these, so you can get a better idea of maybe some of the things that we're running into. But if I run into something that's really off or weird, I'll let you know. Also, another person that's building this is World of Wayne. He does a lot of these kit builds, these subscription builds, and so he's moving along. Both him and Buckman's Model Mania, they're ahead of me right now on this. So, they're like at book 6 or 7, and I'm still kind of just finishing up 3. So, again, I want to thank you for watching.